Kajing tho unang yalam ka VPP, uba arden basayman, baka Sorkar MDA kamyadai ka khyndew ka shyiap, baka shimja ka kat baman. Kalaphay kylla ka VPP ka basensyar, but yalam ka Executive Committee Hakasi Hills Autonomous District Council, KHADC. Haba juba pahing dorbar, halor kimat ki balawan ra daga VPP ba u MLA ka nongkrem, lingba ka jinyatai lingkat dan a short duration discussion, Myntri Rangbah o kanrat kesang ma ulaong. Baka Sorkar jilla kala persyangkat bala banle kanu ka bayabyang lang, kumakano baka Sorkar ka shuthambor, bat le lyndet haba thiet chaka na kabanta ka jingdan kam. Ulaong, baka juday ka banta ka badan kam ka Sorkar, bandan ka jinga salok hasya ban shimrai ban thiet chaka. Haba pynphai kylla ka VPP, Myntri Rangbah ula ay nuksay ka aan jang ka KHADC ka batipkom ka Regulation and Registration of Land Amendment Bill 2026 hakaba ka Executive Committee ka balayalam na ka VPP kalawan ra kat tukat ni gijing pinkala na kabanta banweng no ay kikindan ki badan kam banyasalak bat kishnong kirat bat kihima halor ka khyndew ka shyiap. Myntri Rangbah ulaong baka ka bale haki HDC kalong markong pong baka baka VPP ka kren na markam long ka baday banya lad na kinigishlam san syartan rai kum ki dorbar shnong kirat bat hima ki balapin scam na du kikpatan manjungi.
So, another demand is about the protection of public land, stop backdoor sale, leasing, and illegal acquisition. Land is perhaps the most sensitive issue in Meghalaya. Any alleged transfer, leasing, acquisition, or alienation of public land must be subject to law, transparency, and public accountability. There must be no mechanism by which public land can quietly move into private or corporate control. The government must ensure proper land records, transparent procedures, lawful acquisition and leasing, protection of community interests, strict action against illegal occupation, and compliance with the constitutional and statutory frameworks applicable to Meghalaya, including the role and powers of the Autonomous District Council. When the KHADC issued a notification whereby preventing a headman and the executive committee that they should not give NOC for leasing a land unilaterally without the consent of the Dorbar. There has been a serious attempt to misinform the people, mislead the people as if the Voice of the People Party is against this institution. However, sir, that is not the case. We want to ensure that community land should be protected, and if a community wants to dispose that land or lease out that land, members of the community in that locality or in that village should be taken into consideration. So if land belongs to the public or is protected under the applicable customary and legal framework, who gave anyone the authority to dispose of it behind the people's back? I remember when we debated in this August House at the time when they introduced this investment bill, which has become an act. So I raised an amendment demanding from the government to withdraw that provision, where in that provision it was mentioned for the creation of land banks. And the government ultimately accepted and withdrawn the provision for the creation of land banks. However, sir, it is very sad to say that the withdrawal of this creation of land bank from this act is only to be created through backdoor. Everywhere you will go, you will be informed that some individuals, they are busy finding huge tracts of land to buy, which they will ultimately sell to the government. So this is a very serious issue, sir, which we feel that such practice should be stopped, and in case of any requirement for land development or for any project, the people of those villages or locality should be taken into consideration. Development cannot become an excuse for land alienation, sir.
regarding protecting land and stop backdoor sales, sir. So the statement that public land is being sold to corporates is incorrect, sir. Every acre of land acquired by the government of Meghalaya for public projects has been acquired in full conformity with the Meghalaya Transfer of Land Regulation Act 1971. So the government's process of procuring land for development projects is transparent, sir, and is on record. There's nothing to hide, sir. An expression of interest is called for all willing landowners who quote their own price, sir. And after receiving no objection from all authorities, including the headman, we move forward. So the Deputy Commissioner then holds a public hearing and an inquiry to confirm that the land is free of encumbrance, certifies that the price is reasonable, and only then is the proposal considered. The final decision on purchasing any land is made collectively by the Cabinet. This again, sir, is a very important practice we started. Any procurement of land cannot be done in isolation by any department. The decision is taken at the Cabinet, where entire Cabinet and government machinery is involved, sir. So this is exactly how the land for Shillong Airport expansion and the new Shillong Township were acquired, sir. So the government is following all due processes and is procuring land only for projects that unlock vast opportunities for the youth of the state. So here I would like to state that while we are looking at protecting our land, which of course, sir, this is something which is sentimental and, at the heart of what our tradition and our culture is. So government has always maintained a balance. There has never been a situation where we have bulldozed in any way. There has never been a situation where we go from the back door and get the sale of any land done. Everything is done in a procedure and a manner that is known to all. And as mentioned by the honorable member and the mover of this short duration, he mentioned that the community should be taken into consideration. And sir, I agree totally with that particular aspect. But I would also like to stress that the honorable member and his political party should practice what they preach. So today, you're aware, sir, that there is an act of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council Regulation and Administration of Land Amendment Bill 2026. And there is a clause there in section 16, which says that in section 16 of the Principal Act, the word, quote, after prior consultation with respective Dorbar Shnongs, Dorbar Raid, and Dorbar Hima, unquote, appearing after the words Executive Committee shall be deleted. So this particular amendment is quite unfortunate. And I must say it goes completely against the principle that was just mentioned in this discussion that we are having today. And I quote again, community should be taken into consideration, sir. Whereas in the Khasi Hills District Council, this particular act today is being amended to remove the Rangbah Shnongs, remove the Raid as well as the Hima from this entire procedure of participation, sir. So where is the fairness? Where is the fairness? And sir, when we talk about ensuring that there must be a system of transparency, there must be a procedure in which all the different aspects are involved. Sir, our forefathers had that sight, had that vision. They knew that this must be done. And that is why today, sir, we have traditional institutions and setups. We have Rangbah Shnongs, we have the Raid, and we have the Hima, precisely to ensure that multiple checks and balances are there in our traditional system. And this system has been followed for decades and centuries, sir, I must say. And therefore, I urge, sir, that maybe this particular demand that is there, I would like to put this demand back to VPP. And I would like to also put my charter of demand on VPP to the KHADC and tell them that please practice what you preach. Please involve the traditional institutes. Please ensure that community is not left behind. I think that is very, very important. I totally agree with what the honorable member has mentioned, sir.